incident of Vrindavan, and I'll read one more paragraph to bring up to the speed, and then we will continue. In moving to Vrindavan, Abhay was following his predecessor spiritual masters, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati and Bhaktivinoda Thakur had their house at Radhakund and had preached in Vrindavan. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, Jagannath Das Babaji, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Narottam Das Thakur had lived either in Vrindavan or in Navadvip near the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya. That's where we stopped yesterday. Lord Chaitanya and his immediate followers had an especially intimate relationship with Vrindavan. Lord Chaitanya had commissioned Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami to uncover the places of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan that over the centuries had become lost. Rupa and Sanatan had left their prestigious government post and gone to live in Vrindavan. Dressed in simple linen clothes, they had lived without fixed residence, staying each night under a different tree. And in Vrindavan, in winter, it's got cold. They and Jiva Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, and Gopal Bhatt Goswami, known and worshipped as the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, had compiled a voluminous literature on Krishna Bhakti. They had inspired wealthy Vaishnava patrons to erect Vrindavan's great temples, Govindji, Madan Mohan, Radha Damodar, Radha Raman. At Radhakund, shortly after Lord Chaitanya's departure from this mortal world, Raghunath Das Goswami had chanted 100,000 names of Krishna and discoursed for several hours daily on the pastime of Lord Chaitanya. There also, Krishnadas Kaviraj has compiled the Chaitanya Charitamrita, describing the life and teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Even those Gaudiya Vaishnavas who did not live in Vrindavan kept Vrindavan always in their hearts and proclaims his glories. The Chaitanya Charitamrita described the great ecstasy Lord Chaitanya felt while traveling from Puri to Vrindavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mind was always absorbed in aesthetic love at Jagannath Puri. But when he passed along the road on the way to Vrindavan, that love increased 100 times. The Lord's aesthetic love increased 1,000 times when he visited Mathura, but it increased 100,000 times when he wandered in the forest of Vrindavan. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was elsewhere, the very name of Vrindavan was sufficient to increase his aesthetic love. Now, when he was actually traveling in Vrindavan forest, his mind was absorbed in great aesthetic love day and night. He ate and bathed simply out of habit. Vrindavan is the earthly manifestations of Lord Krishna's eternal spiritual abode, which the Lord himself describes in Bhagavad Gita. Quote, there is another nature which is eternal and intranscendental to manifested and unmanifested matter. It is never annihilated. It is the supreme destination. When one goes there, he never comes back. That is my supreme abode. Unquote. Krishna's activities of eternity, bliss and knowledge, and his abode, Goloka Vrindavan, are described in many Vedic literatures. Quote, I worship Govinda, the preeminent Lord, the first progenitor, who is tending the cows, yielding all desire, in abodes built with spiritual gems, where he is surrounded by millions of purpose trees, and always show with great reverence and affection by hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. Unquote. Although Lord Krishna's about Goloka Vrindavan is far beyond the material world, when Krishna comes to earth, he displays his eternal abode in the Vrindavan of India. That 84 square mile tract in North India is identical with the eternal world in the spiritual sky. To live and dine in Vrindavan guarantees the devotee's transfer to the eternal spiritual world. The residents of Vrindavan, even the animals, are exalted. At the end of the life, they will transfer to the Goloka Vrindavan. Haribol. Lord Brahma therefore prayed that he might take birth as a clump of grass on the outskirts of Vrindavan, so that these pure devotees purify him with the dust from their feet. And Vaishnava Shastras declare that even by only a brief visit to Vrindavan, one can realize the Supreme Lord in his heart. Chaitanya Charitamrita states, quote, like the transcendental body of Lord Krishna, Gokul is all-pervading, infinite, and supreme. It expands both above and below without any restriction. That abode is manifested within the material world by the will of Lord Sri Krishna. It is identical to that original Gokul. They are not two different bodies. The land there is just stone, Chintamani, and the forest abound with desert trees. All the material eyes see it as an ordinary place. The ideal place to execute Krishna consciousness is Brajbhumi or Vrindavan, where people are naturally inclined to love Krishna, and Krishna is naturally inclined to love them. The train arrived at Mathura. Abhay stepped down with his luggage and looked around, noting the recently constructed Mathura Junction building. Proceeding through the gate, an hour out of the station, he found a Tanga driver, agreed on the fare, and started for Kesighat. For half a mile, the wobbling horse-drawn cart followed the road between the tracks and the railway yard. At the main road, they turned left, passed under a railroad bridge, and entered an open market. Piles of fruits, vegetables, and grain were displayed on the ground. Their vendors sitting beside them, bartering and measuring while customers milled about. The women of Mathura, dressed in brightly colored saris, yellow, green, pinks, and purples, moved busily in the market. The vehicular traffic consisted mostly of bullock carts. The drivers, often squatting on the wooden yokes between the soldier shoulder of their animals, whipping alternately one ox and then the other with a length of rope joined to a wooden handle. Although this was the most populated area in the trips of Vrindavan, compared to Delhi, it seems simple and rural. The sun was high, but the Tanga stop provided a partial shelter, and the summer's heat had passed. Beyond the bazaar, the road curved to the right, and Abhay saw the nearby white domes of massive sandstone mosque marking Krishna Janmastan, the birthplace of Lord Krishna. Centuries ago, invading Muslims had destroyed the large Krishna temple and created the mosque in its stead. And now, directly in front of the mosque, stood a newer, smaller Krishna temple. They approached the three-way junctions, New Delhi, Central Mathura, Vrindavan. The driver struck the horse with his whip, and the Tanga proceeded along the Vrindavan road, edging through a herd of white cows, the herdsman walking amongst them carrying his stick. The road was busy with Tangas and slow creating ox carts, loaded with market commodities and pulled by squat black water buffalo. A string of small spindle-legged donkeys carried oversized loads of firewood and sandbags. So I think it's 6:53. We should stop here. The devotees may have to go to their respective work. And still I need some time. So we can prolong up to 8 o'clock. I don't want to delay it, but still believe me, it's require a lot of work, and also I have to maintain my sadhana. So it's not that easy. So we will stop here unless anyone has any question, comment, corrections before we close our call. If no question, no comment, no corrections, then we would like to offer our humble obeisances to these great devotees that who wake up early in the morning and kindly join this to give their kind association. So we are totally in debt to for their kind association and wants to offer our humble obeisances at the desk of the lotus feet. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhayavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo. Thank you very much. Kamal Priya Mataji, why you were late today?
Oh, today I joined 4:45, Guruji.
Haribol. You should join early.
Yeah.
Haribol, Haribol. Thank you very much.